our guest is from the NC Sustainable Energy Association. So we have Karen Gardner here today, and she serves as the Director of Core Services and has a background within the nonprofit environmental, sustainable energy, and biotechnology sectors. So a wealth of knowledge. But before I talk too much, I just want to give you a chance to talk a little bit about yourself, maybe what your journey in sustainability has been like, how you got to your current career, and everything like that. So Karen, if you want to take it away.
I would love to. Thank you so much for having me. And I've done a lot of these networking events and virtual panels and chats with students. So I'm really happy to be here. Um, I work for the North Carolina Sustainable Energy Association. Um, we've been in business for over 40 years, representing mostly North Carolinians, but we do have quite a few members that are from outside of the state. And basically, we're an association of individuals and businesses that are interested in advancing clean energy in North Carolina. So I can talk about the work that we do a little bit later, but basically, I've been with the company myself for 4 years. And prior to that was with another clean energy nonprofit by the name of Advanced Energy, and was there for about 8 years. So just in those two, I guess it's been about 12 years total. Do you want me to go ahead and answer this first question? Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I kind of came into sustainability by accident. In my earlier career, I worked for a biotech company that manufactures industrial enzymes. And while they weren't a sustainability focused employer, sustainability and environmental goals were a big part of what they did. And they were able to achieve the recycling of 100% of their waste. And their waste actually went to farmers throughout North Carolina who could use the waste product as fertilizer for their crops. So I think that was, early in my career, that was a really big, something we were really proud of. And then, of course, around that time, I also began my own personal journey around, sustainability and environmentally focused living. And so that was earlier in my career. And then I eventually, my story is basically, my background is human resources and operations, and I can do that for any company. Every company has that function. But I eventually decided that I wanted to choose a company that, where I could make a positive, or a company that was making a positive impact on the world. And that's how that led me to clean energy. So I hope that answered your question.
You actually just provided the perfect segue into our next question. So maybe you could kind of elaborate more about what it is in particular about and the NC Sustainable Energy Association that really drew you in and kind of got you hooked.
Yeah, so the clean energy sector is a fairly small community, and you get to know a lot of people in that community. And I actually used to work with our executive director at my previous company. And so that's how I got connected to my current company. So there's a lot of I don't know, cross-pollination or whatever. We all tend to stay, in the same sector. And I actually started at NCSEA, which is a very long acronym for the name of our company, but I started with them as a consultant and came in to do some work and just fell in love with the company. And I think one of the things that I like about it most is that it touches every sector of clean energy, whether it's, um, electric vehicles or smart grid or renewable energy or what have you. So we really get to experience what's going on in all of those sectors. And it's a small nonprofit. And I personally love working for a nonprofit.
Well, it sounds like you've held or worn a lot of hats throughout your career. Um, so once again, perfectly goes into the next question. And can you shed a little bit of light on how your prior educational experiences, or like maybe any classes you took throughout college or post-college that help you most in your current career and throughout your careers?
Yeah, I think, so I went to college a very long time ago. So, and we didn't really have sustainability focused careers back then, like we do now. And so, for me, it's a little bit different. I look back at my business classes and even my undergrad was in psychology. So, which is very relevant for the work that I do because I do a lot of employee relations. And so, you know, it's directly related to the work that I do, but not so much the clean energy sector, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we were actually just having a conversation about how sustainability comes from all majors and all different programs.
Mm-hmm.
So even using those business classes and those psychology classes within the field of sustainability is so important.
Yeah, it's been so rewarding in my career to see fields like you take mechanical engineering. Now there is an energy track or a, you know, sustainability track. And you see that in a lot of fields that never had that before. So you can apply it, um, to so many different career paths, I think.
Yeah, we love highlighting that because it is something that's so applicable to every aspect of life. And so that's part of the reason why we've been loving having these conversations with people from such different kind of fields and
Mm-hmm.
different like careers within those fields. So that's really cool. Um, well, moving on to the next question, which you are just kind of hitting all the nails on the heads. But what are some things that you've kind of grown to learn or things that you've found you needed in your position or in your career in general that you like maybe wouldn't have expected when you were studying, say, psychology or business or just in school in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think what applied way back then still applies today. I don't think any classroom instruction can really prepare you for the business environment, like working in the environment does. So there's a lot of, and we do, I'm coming from the context that we do a lot of internships, and I've promoted that throughout my career, getting that hands-on experience, being in a business environment, learning to understand the politics, how meetings operate and are facilitated, how business communications are handled, um, how partnerships are formed between organizations. So things like that, it doesn't seem like you learn as much in the classroom as you do from actually being in that environment. So that's how I would answer that question.
So kind of building off of that and things that you didn't know going into your current position, what's one piece of advice you wish someone had told you, whether it be for your current position or just entering the field of sustainability from your prior experience, just any aspect?
Yeah, I would say that it has never been more competitive, to get really great jobs. than it is today. And I don't remember really, looking back, what advice I wish I would have had, but I can tell you from experience, the one piece of advice that I would give, it's to do an internship in your chosen field, or more than one if you can, and do it even if it's unpaid. We're a nonprofit. A lot of our internships are unpaid, but they are invaluable to the students, who are getting to experience and being able to network and put new jobs, and new skills on their resumes. It's internship, internship, internship. I can't say it enough. It will, make you more marketable and give you a competitive edge when it comes time to look for that position. And the other thing I would say is, I don't know where this phrase came from, but it's been around a long time, which is to begin with the end in mind. I've worked with students for probably 30 years, and I often have given this advice, and it sounds a little cliche, but basically what it means to me is if you can think about and envision yourself in a particular career, have that be the goal, but then figure out, what does it take for me to get to that? And then you get a better idea of all those steps, whether it's a certification or a certain experience or a certain skill. And it's hard to do as a college student, right? It's not always easy to know what you're going to do when you graduate. But even if you narrow it down to 3 different types of jobs, and you can go out there and research and figure out, what does it take to be that person? If I want to be a sustainability coordinator, or if I want to, be an environmental analyst or whatever, actually do that research and figure out what it's going to take to get you there.
Awesome, thank you. Building off of your mention of internships, what are some of the ways that students at UNCW, or just people in general, can get involved with the NCSEA? What opportunities do y'all have available?
Yeah, so we do have a few internships every year. We're fairly small, but we do post internships on our website. You can also, I'm assuming the students can get my contact information, so you're also welcome to reach out to me anytime. I'll tell you, especially if you're open to doing an unpaid internship, and we do virtual internships as well, because I realize not all of you will be located in Raleigh. But, if you're willing to do an unpaid internship, we have created internships for people before, like put together a project that somebody could work on and gain that experience. So the other thing is, we're an association. So we have members. We have a lot of business members. And you can look them up on our website. Not only do we have our member directory on our website, so you can start looking at companies and actually clicking on the links and going to those companies and researching them. But we also have a business opportunities page where we post our members' positions. And we do, some of those are internships. So I would definitely go to our website to see, what we have available. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have.